morning, everyone. How are you? I hope you can hear me. It's super early and I have only had very little coffee. You can see my coffee mug is pretty full. But I wanted to pop on and talk a little bit about freezer meal planning and why I'm doing it. So as you can see, everything is still on my table except for the chicken and anything else that needs to be kept cold. I'll give you guys a quick look. There you go. So that's what my table looks like right now. It's a hot mess. Oh, it's supposed to be, right? So it's kind of funny. I had some people asking me some questions about what I thought so far. So far, the only thing that I've done, and I'm going to tell you why I decided to try freezer meal planning, how long it took me to pick a plan, why I picked the plan that I chose, and how I'm using it to connect with my teenagers. So I'm all about, taking advantage and what's that saying? Kill two birds with one stone. Well, I'm going to try to knock out a few things at once. But, okay, so first of all, if you don't know me, my name is Jen McKinnon and I am the writer at practicalbydefault.com. And what I do is I help working moms who also homeschool to help manage their career, homeschooling, and life. And so this whole meal planning thing kind of falls under life. But the reason I meal plan, I've been meal planning for years, is because it saves me time, it saves me that mental energy, and it saves me money. And so those things are all really important for all moms, no matter whether you work or you homeschool or you have little ones or older kids or whatever, right? Meal planning is a big part that saves me. So if you meal plan, good job. I would love to hear what is working for you. So the way we meal planned before is we keep our foods really simple, and sometimes we would create an extra meal, right? So if we're making lasagna, we'd make 2 pans and freeze one. But what I found was happening is, so I have 2 teenagers, and we have 3 drivers, and my husband still works outside the home, even with COVID. I work at home, I work outside the home, my son works outside the home, so it's a lot of driving. And at 5 o'clock, what was happening is even though we had simple foods, somebody still had to come home and cook, right? And so after working all day, we were tired. We'd sit there and we'd be like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna make? Okay, we're gonna have chicken, are we gonna have rice, are we gonna have potatoes, are we gonna have pasta? And so it was decision after decision after decision. So way back in September, I started looking at meal planning and freezer meal planning. I was like, everyone's been talking about this. I thought, there's no way this is gonna work for me. Way too much work. Who wants to spend all day in the kitchen? It's a lot of money. So I'm in Canada. This food, the meals that I have, the plan is from Rachel at This Crafty Home. And I picked her. So like I said, way back in September, I started researching. I wanted to find something that was simple. I wanted to find a plan that used simple recipes, not 20, 30 ingredients. I didn't have the time and I didn't have the money for that. She has 2 small children. So she doesn't homeschool. Her oldest goes to school. But I thought, okay, if she can do it with 2 small kids, then this plan is designed for moms who are busy, who need simple, uncomplicated recipes that work. And so, poor Rachel, I reached out to her and I was like, so I'm in Canada, will this work? Because some of the ingredients that she has on her list, we don't have where I live. And so we talked about that. We went back and forth since September. So I started planning. I was like, okay, what do I need? What tools do I need? So I already had an Instant Pot. You don't need an Instant Pot for her recipes, but it does make life a little bit simpler. I had been searching for these things. So these are bag holders. I'm sure they have a fancy name. I don't know what it is. And so I asked her, do these things help? So I ordered these back in November. It was really funny. I got a notification from Amazon that jewelry had arrived. And I was like, I don't remember ordering jewelry. And so when they come in, it's like metal jewelry. These are plastic. So of course, being the goofy mom, I put them on. I'm like, kids, are these earrings? One way to horrify your teens, for the record. Anyway, so these are bag holders, and what they do is they extend out. And I'm not going to do that because they make a lot of noise, but this is what they look like. And then you put the bag in. Now, I haven't used them, but somebody has shared some really good tips here on my Facebook page about being careful when you put liquids in, filling them so far. But I'm hoping, I only have 2. She recommends like 6 or 8. to make life easier. I ordered 2. They didn't come. I ordered a pack of 4 or 6 that are green for the same price before Christmas. They haven't come yet either. So we'll see, but I'm going to try them out. They might work. They might not. I don't know. But the reason I wanted to try it is because the idea is you cook all the food, you freeze it, it's in your freezer. And then some of the recipes, most of the recipes do need to be thawed the day before just to make them better. She says they're not as good if you don't. But that's only the day before. You know, if I can, she has them all planned out in, I can't really show you, but in her, these are the meals, which is backwards, sorry. But it comes with like a meal plan that you can adjust and decide what you want. But I was like, okay, it comes with 10 recipes. Make 5 the first week, Monday to Friday, because we don't really cook on the weekends. I don't know if you guys do, but we're more snackers. We do our grocery shopping on the weekend. I work. It's crazy busy on the weekends. I'm exhausted. So we do a lot of snacky foods like sandwiches, crackers, fruit, that type of thing. So Monday to Friday, you have the first 5 recipes. Next week, Monday to Friday, you can have the second 5 recipes, and then you rotate. So in a month of, 20 days, you would have the same recipe twice, which is pretty good. Now, I don't expect my family to like all the recipes. In fact, my daughter hates mushrooms. And the recipe calls for like 12 cups. Yes, 12 cups of sliced mushrooms. Now, here's one of the things that as a homeschool mom, you're going to love. So what we did is we printed off the grocery list. So it comes with 2 pages. And in Canada, we measure things very differently. So it's really funny. So I do my weight in pounds, but most things are in like kilograms. And so, her list, we had our calculators out, we had conversions. Shopping took 2 hours because we had to stop. And we're like, how many grams in a ounces in a it was just really funny. So we're sitting there like trying, and of course you're stressed because it's COVID and there's restrictions, and you're like trying to get in and out as quickly as possible and stay out of everybody's way, and you're sitting there with your calculator and we're trying to do math of figuring out. So for example, she has 4 cans of corn. Well, there's no size on the cans, so we have this size, which is what I got because I don't know, but our cans also come in this size, and then they come in this size. And I was like, well, what size do I get? And so some things I'm hoping that she'll adjust and add some measurements just for us international people, those who are outside of the United States. But she was really great. So they asked for Hawaiian rolls, which I don't have. So I had to text or Instagram message her, and I was like, how many rolls are in the bag? So I just got regular rolls. And she said there was 12. Because Google brought up like 36. So there's some things that, if you were wondering about getting your kids involved, invite them to go grocery shopping with you, whether you freeze or meal plan or not. So the really cool thing is, I gave her the list, my daughter, and we went, and I'm like, okay, can you pick out, mushrooms? So it says sliced mushrooms. And so the first thing we had to do is we had to figure out, how many, this is 227 grams, whole mushrooms. How many of these would be, 12 cups of sliced mushrooms? And so we did the math. And then she did price comparison. What's more affordable? Is it cheaper to buy the sliced mushrooms or the whole mushrooms? How much time are you going to use cutting the mushrooms? Are you willing to do that to save the money? So there were some really great conversations, and we had a lot of fun. But there was a lot of measuring. There was so much math and, comparison. And these are skills our kids are going to need. So that's another reason I wanted to do this with my kids, was to tell them, how kind of teach them these skills that they're going to use for life, comparing prices, figuring out sizes. Because we live in Canada and we do end up doing a lot of, buying a purchase of cookbooks and recipes and things like that, they need to know how to do those conversions from milliliters to ounces to cups to whatever. So that was really cool. So I picked Rachel's plan because 1, she provided all the recipes. 2, she wrote the itemized grocery list inside that said exactly what to buy. And her grocery list has this cool, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it has 2 colors. And so I should have printed off in color. Sorry, I didn't. And so parts of it are like what you're going to need for the actual cooking, and then like the prep, and then the other color is for what you'll need when you do the cooking of the meal to eat it. And so, for example, we didn't need to buy all the chicken broth and the beef broth, but I purchased it at the same time to save myself a trip, and I know they'll keep. So we're going to cook these up this week, and we'll start eating them next week. And so I know those things will keep. I picked up some of the things, like the extra cheese, the sour cream, things I knew would stay in my freezer and still be safe. Sorry, fridge and still be safe. And then there's things I didn't pick up because I knew it would just get eaten, and then we'd go to eat the meal and we'd be missing half the ingredients. So that was kind of fun. So the last reason, the main reason I purchased her set is it comes with the step-by-step plan. So you'll see here, it's the meal. It's on this page. It's the meal prep step-by-step. So she divides it. You can do all of this in a 4-hour cooking session. Probably if you know what you're doing. I'm expecting it's going to take a lot longer because I've never done this before. And so she has it designed so you can do it in 2 sessions, 2 hours, stop, 2 hours. I'm going to try to do it in the 4 full all at once, mostly because I feel like if I stop, I might not get motivated to go again. And so she tells you exactly what to do. You know, chop this, put it in this bag, do this, put it in this bag, cook this. And I think figuring that out mentally, I just don't have the time and energy. I think that's one of the things that held me back from freezer meal planning all this time was, one, I didn't have recipes that we could try. I didn't know if they would freeze well. And then having that step-by-step plan, I was like, I don't know what to do. And I didn't want to take the time. You know, we're working moms. Many of you are teaching your kids at home. Time and energy is limited. So whatever we can do to save that time and energy, I think is really important. So the other reason I wanted to do this, I was talking about how I'm going to use this to connect with my kids. As busy working moms, finding time with our kids is hard, right? You're working all day, you're homeschooling, you're exhausted, you're tired, and you know, our kids need our time. Plain and simple, they need us. And so we have that mom guilt, right? Like, you know, oh my goodness, it's been like 3 days and I haven't had real one-on-one time with my kids. Well, my daughter loves to cook. And cooking, well, she loves to bake. Let's be honest, she likes to bake. But she needs to learn how to cook too. She's pretty good at it. And she has amazing organizational skills that I don't have. So when I approached her, I said, you know, I really want to try this. Do you want to hang out with me and do this with me? You know, we'll go shopping together. So we did that yesterday. It was fun. After we shopped, we went to a little bakery down the road and, you know, got some baked goods and sat home and unloaded the car. And then she had the brilliant idea. Remember I was telling you about the math? Well, what she suggested, and I thought this was great. She said, Mom, just reprint out the shopping list, the grocery list, and write in the sizes of the cans that we bought. So we wrote in like 4 cans of corn, and then in brackets, I put in, you know, this size of the can that we purchased. So if this works, now I know. So next time I go, I won't be doing math in the grocery store, surrounded by people who are cranky. But, you know, they have the best ideas. Get your kids involved. So today, I told her a couple weeks ago that we were going to cook for 4 hours. And so I asked her to create a playlist. So she's made a music playlist of something that we can listen to together while we cook. And then I asked her last night, I printed off, remember, the step-by-step plan. And I said, I would like you to read that. So I have an appointment this morning. I have to run some errands. And she's going to read through the instructions so that we're on the same page. We both kind of have an idea of what to do when. And she has brilliant ideas on how to organize things. So I know that she'll be able to overcome, and we'll be able to overcome them together and have fun in the kitchen. And I think that's really important. Plus, she's going to be learning some skills, you know, about meal planning and figuring out if this was something that she will use when she leaves home. And then, hopefully, when they're all cooked, we will learn more about, you know, defrosting and getting them cooked at the right temperature and all of that fun stuff. So one of the things I always do with recipes is I always follow them as closely as possible the first time through. And then the next time I start making changes. So as we eat them, we'll be making adjustments to the recipe. I'm pretty sure that one of the ones she'll be is like, less mushrooms, because she hates them. She's like, They have a taste. I don't taste them. Do you guys taste mushrooms? I never have like that taste in them. I had one more idea, and now I can't remember what I was going to share with you guys. Shoot! As soon as it was in my mind, it's like, oh yeah, I have to remind them. So yeah, the first time through, we'll make them the way that they're supposed to be. Oh, I know it. Another thing, because we've been keeping our meals super simple for like 6 months or more, we've been using pretty much the same spices. And so one of the things I always recommend is when you run out of things in your cupboard to keep your inventory and pick them up. Well, one of the things that we have been running out of is spices, but I haven't been bothering to replace them. I don't know why. It's like, I don't know if spices are around $5-6 a bottle here, and I was like, oh, I don't know. So I would just like put them on the list and then not bother to buy them. But we've been using the same spice, and you know, everyone's kind of sick of the same spice. And the spices in this recipe or meal guide is probably all spices that you have in your cupboard. So I go to my cupboard and I open it up, and almost all our spices are gone. So yesterday we had to pick up, like, we use this brand. I don't know if you guys have it there. They were on sale, $4.99 a bottle. And I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 recipes. 10 spices. And they're spices everybody usually has in your kitchen, you know, oregano, basil, and I'm sure you guys will make fun of how I say that. Chili powder, salts, you know, basic spices. There's nothing crazy in them. But there were ones I didn't have. So the last thing I'm going to tell you is the cost. So I'm in Canada, which means, and I purchased things that this is all for the meal planning guide, but I purchased things I didn't necessarily have to buy for the meal prep. When Rachel did it, I think she used Aldi, but I could be wrong, to order her groceries, and I thought she said around $150, $160 for 20 meals, and they feed 4 people. So here is my receipt. And in Canada, so I shopped at Sobeys, which is a store in Atlantic Canada. I don't know if you guys have it at West. And it came to $372.18. Now that sounds like a lot, but you have to realize I'm feeding 2 teenagers, 20 meals. It works out to like $20 a meal, just under. That's fabulous. If I can make this work, we will save so much money on groceries that it's definitely going to make it worth it. And I'll still have that really fun bonding time with my kids. Okay, so I think that's everything. So I'm going to be sharing here on my Facebook page today. I'll share some photos of how it's going during the cooking. I'll let you know if I do the 2-hour or 4-hour. And I would love to hear if you guys are doing any meal planning at all. You know, what do you like? What do you not like? What do you find works? And all that kinds of fun stuff. So thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch up with you later. Bye.